What's good, fellow shadows? Welcome to another shadow work update with your host, your shadow work trainer, Torin Gooley. Checking back in. Know it's been a while for another minute, but look, I've been going through the university too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess I had to take a sabbatical or something because, like, dude, things have been so crazy for me, spiritually, physically, financially, and I'm really just coming back into, like, getting myself aligned with, what I really want, and just in line with my inner being, my higher self, you know what I'm saying? So I had to take the time to do the work so I can come out through the other side and then share it with you guys. It's the whole reason why I made this channel. So to get started, I want to talk about life design, being able to design your life the exact way that you want it to be, right? Now, when we think about something like that, like, we think about rich people, right? Think about people who are born with it, people who never had to struggle for it, don't have to struggle for it, and shit like that. Like, that's what we think of. But in reality, that's actually how every single person, period, like, that's whether we're designing our lives consciously or unconsciously, that depends. But the fact of the matter is, we are all doing that. What led me to want to, like, make this a topic and to, like, bounce off how I'm tying this into my life is I saw a clip, and if I can find it, I'll post a link to it in the video. And I'm so sorry, I forgot the guy's name. He's a really popular YouTuber, but anyway, I'll link it. So basically, in the clip, he was saying exactly what I just said. Like, everybody creates their own life, whether they realize it or not. But he likened it to a paintbrush, and we're the artists holding a paintbrush. And for so many people, we go for so long handing our paintbrush to others, letting other people tell us what to do with our paintbrush. And then some amount of time passes, and then we look at our painting and it's not shaping up to be what we want it to be, or we're not liking our painting so far. We blame so many outside things when, in fact, the matter is, we're always the one who's holding our paintbrush that has control of what it does, right? So the thing is, like, after you look back and you realize that your painting isn't shaping up the way that you want it to be, like, you still have to realize that you're still holding the brush, and it's no matter what you've already painted, no matter what past works you've already done, you're always still holding that brush, and you always have a choice of what you do with it next, right? So I say all that to say, or segue into the perfect example of the example that I said in my last video, as far as, like, my life being a complete blank canvas again, right? That stability gave me that blank canvas, and by that I don't really just mean financial stability. I'm really more so talking about the only stability that you really need, which is vibrational stability. The ability to recognize when you're vibrationally out of whack and to get yourself back there. Once you become vibrationally stable, once you find that good feeling space and you're able to stay there and you're able to protect that, then financial stability, every other kind of stability is soon to follow, right? So anyway, side note into that. So anyway, back to my situation. So lately, I've had to make some aggressive changes to my life and make some aggressive cuts. And as freeing and as good feeling as it is, it's also just as scary and daunting of a task, right? Because it's like, of course, we all want our life to be this grand masterpiece. We want it to be amazing. When we want it to amaze us, we want it to amaze others, right? But when you're standing on the front side of that, that's a daunting task, and it's easy to question yourself, wondering if you even have it in you. But it's so ironic that we question that when, in fact, like, the fact that we want to do what we want to do is proof that we do have it in us. Because not everybody wants to do the same thing. We all have different purposes. And once we feel it, by knowing what we love to do, what we're passionate about, the type of life that we want to have, then once we know what that is proof that it is for us. Because, we all want what's for us, and that all doesn't look the same for everybody, right? And we all have a place here. So as for me, my personal shadow work update is coming in the form of making aggressive cuts to not only habits, people, A couple of these I'm gonna make full videos on their own. But the first one is this. I can't believe I'm saying this on camera and putting it out to everybody, but I've put an intention into stopping watching porn. You can probably tell I don't let these people walk by before I just yell this outside in public. But anyway, yeah, I've put an intention into completely stopping watching porn cold turkey. Even just since I stopped doing that one thing, like I've had so much more energy, just energy. I couldn't help but notice how like the next day, how much just energy I had just from abstaining for one day. And like I said, I'm gonna go into a whole another video about this specific thing, because like this is like a journey in and of itself. But another thing that I've cut out is just relationship with people who don't resonate with the vibration that my life is at right now. Basically, like people who just, you know, well, I'm gonna try. I don't want to say level, because that's like a level. I feel like that's can kind of be taken as disrespect. Like I don't mean disrespect to anybody who I've decided isn't part of my life anymore, but it's really just that I've decided they aren't part of my life anymore. And if I want the life that I want, then I cannot be taking in the energy of people who carry the energy of the past me. Like there's certain things that the past me would have accepted from people that the person that is where I'm trying to go would never. Okay, and dude, when you're serious about living the life that you really want to live from where you are, well, no matter where you are in life, it's gonna come with the challenge of using your paintbrush to paint over or just erasing it, or having the courage to just leave that painting and completely go to a new canvas. I would actually I've been reading tarot cards lately, and the swords in the tarot means decisions. And I actually really, rather than a paintbrush, I would like to liken our conscious decision making to a scalpel, right? You know, with the scalpel is a very precise instrument. You know, like the smallest, like intentional or not intentional, like touching of that, like it's gonna make something happen. Something's gonna get cut, right? It's gonna do its purpose. And when it comes to our lives, like we always have the scalpel, and we can always, and we're constantly carving. You know what I'm saying? Again, like whether we're conscious of it or not. And when you start consciously carving your life to make it look how you want it to look, dude, it's inevitable. Some things that were a part of that block at first are no longer part of that block after you're done. And that has to do with habits, that has to do with people. Oh yeah, back on the story of the people, this is a person who I considered a best friend, you know? And this is another thing I'm gonna go into about. This is about how to deal with other people in your life as a spiritual, like on your spiritual journey, right? And like this was a hard one to like realize when it was time to let go, because like at one point, like I said, like this is someone I consider the best friend. So like at one point in my life, like this was like really somebody who I did resonate with. We were on the same level. We like needed each other, you know what I'm saying? But over this last few years, like I've been really putting intention into becoming the person, or actually being the person that I know that I want to be, that I know that I can be, I know that I am at my core, you know what I mean? And that person has boundaries that no matter who you are, if you cross, you can't be a part of my life anymore. And unfortunately, that person crossed one of those boundaries, and it was hard. It's hard, dude. When people say like success or having what you want or becoming, or like all this personal development shit is hard work, like this is the hard work, the mental work, and like the willingness to be true to yourself first through all things before all else. That's the hard part. But once you get that, once you realize and you take control of the fact that you are in control, and not only are you controlled, there are no rules. Like everything that everybody ever told you was from their perspective, all right? They're doing what's working, or what they think is working, or what they want to convince themselves is working for them, and they rarely want to see you outside of that or doing better than them. You know what I'm saying? Even if they love you, you know? But if you want your life to look the way you want it to look, then you're going to have to stand on your own too. You're going to have to value your own intuition, your own values, your own wants your own feelings, your own emotions more than anybody else. And that's not to say that you don't care about anybody else, that you can't care about anybody else. You just have to care about yourself first. And see, if you're like me and you're a fellow people pleaser or recovering people pleaser, this is what's gonna make this hard, because in the past we equated doing things other people's way in our lives as pleasing them, which is our form of validation, which is what we needed to trigger our self-love. But once you start putting your own feelings first and realizing that you don't need anybody else to make you feel any kind of way, it's not gonna rub everybody in your life the right way, because they're used to you doing things the way that they see doing. That's how you've always done it. That's who they know you are. But you're becoming the person. You haven't been the person who you are up until now, up until your awakening. You've been who people's outside and like your surrounding vibrations have dominated you to be. But now you're realizing that, you control everything, whether you realize it or not. So once you realize it, you have to put yourself first. And those people are often gonna say or confuse that with like saying that you don't care about anybody but yourself. I've been told that on my journey, that I'm selfish now. I don't care about anybody but myself. But when in reality, that's not true at all. I care immensely about all my loved ones. It's just that like now I'm realizing that I have to put myself first. If anything that you got going on is a detriment to me, then you can't be around. Because unless I'm at my full potential, unless I'm the best me I can be anyway, unless I'm in the best mental state I can be, I'm of no help to you anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm of no help to both of us. I say all that to say, look, your life is in your hands. We have control. There are no rules. You have control, and there are no rules. This shit is whatever you want it to be, regardless of if you're aware of it or not. Like if you're not where you want to be, at some subconscious level, it's where you feel like you deserve to be, or where you're capable of being. That might be the things that you need to work on to let go. And for some strange reason, that comfortableness makes you want to be there. So therefore, but until you actually really get, first of all, clear about what you want, and then you decide you want it for real, after that, you're in the space that I'm in now. It's like you gotta take the swords and you gotta be ready to do some cutting. Again, if that's meaning cutting habits, people's presence out of your life, not actual people, but places you used to go, things you used to do, most importantly, thoughts you used to think, thought patterns you used to have. Like you have to taking control of your life means picking up that sword, picking up that scalpel, picking up that paintbrush, picking up that PlayStation controller, plugging it in. You're player one. Only difference is it's live, man. Ain't no cheat codes. Well, there is. The cheat code is realized that there are no codes. You know what I'm saying? You can make this whatever you want it to be. So thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna wrap up right here, dude. I got more videos coming up, not just shadow work updates. I also happy to announce I'm officially starting my tarot channel. It's gonna be called, am I gonna say it on this video? You know what? I'm gonna wait to say the name because I haven't actually decided on the name. But I am starting a tarot channel, so get ready for that. Appreciate your viewership and watching to the end. Hope you got something out of it. Peace.